Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Tina's Leg. Today we are going to be doing pedicures. I am a little obsessed with taking care of my foot, and I do tend to highly judge those who don't take care of their feet. I'm not afraid to admit that. Feet happen to be one of the first things that I do notice about somebody when I first meet them. We live in Arizona and there's a lot of bare feet around, a lot of sandals. It is kind of a pet peeve of mine when people don't take care of their feet. I only have one foot and I take care of that foot very well. I give myself pedicures twice a month, every 2 weeks. I usually am changing my nail polish, I'm sanding the calluses off, I put lotion on my foot every night before I go to bed, every morning after my shower, and if I have chipping toenail polish or anything, I have to fix it immediately. Because I only have one foot, that I really shouldn't be judging other people's feet, but I do. I'm sorry. If you have 2 feet, you should be taking care of them and treat them well, because they take you everywhere in your life. You need them. And if you didn't have one, you would then realize how much you missed it. You're gonna join me while I give myself a pedicure. I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks along the way, as well as maybe some advice you've never gotten before as far as taking care of your feet and what that looks like. These are my go-to tools that I use all the time. This one, obviously super safe. You can change out the rolls. If you do not have one of these, I highly recommend every single person. If you have feet, you need to get yourself one of these. Like, I use this 2 to 3 times a week on my foot. When things get a little out of hand and I feel like I've got a lot of calluses developing around my heel, then I do use these 2 tools. This one can be a little dangerous. So it is razor blades that you replace on here. You use it to scrape off the dead skin on your heel, and you have to be very careful. I have made myself bleed before because I have cut off a little too much, and let me tell you, it is not worth it. It hurt to walk on it for days. So I do have to be very careful with this tool, but sometimes it is necessary. So just a warning, just use this very carefully. Also, you need to keep all your pedicure, manicure, all those tools, you need to keep them clean. I wash them, I change them out, I clean them. And then this is a cheese grater for feet, for your heels. So I am gonna use this. It is very satisfying. It's very satisfying to use. But again, be careful. You don't wanna cut off too much. I have seen some pretty nasty heels out there. If they are cracked and dry and flaky, all of these tools are going to be needed for your feet. I guarantee it. All right, I'm going to move you down so that you can see, and I will just walk you through my process. If you didn't watch my first video, this is my stump. I was born with half of a foot. They had to cut up above my ankle bone in order for me to be able to wear a prosthetic leg. Since this is a close-up, I'm gonna take the opportunity to kind of show you. You can see where they stitched my heel pad. So they took my original heel pad from the half a foot that I had. And when they had to cut up above my ankle bone, they then cut off my heel pad and reattached it to the stump. So you can see I do have stitch marks all the way around. I do have movement in it. I also am very fortunate that this heel pad has never moved. I will say I was shocked when I found out that that was a possibility. And some people do have their heel pads that move completely up the side of their leg, and then they have to have another surgery where they have to take it and reattach it. I have just been super fortunate in my life that that has never happened to me, and my heel pad has remained stationary where it was originally sewed on, and it has served me very, very, very well. It is a rare sighting that my toes are naked. I always have polish on my toes, like always. I took a shower this morning, cleaned my feet, I took off my old nail polish, so I am just gonna show you what my pedicure procedure looks like. As far as my heel goes, I do have like one spot where I get like a little callus right here, and again, this sander is the best tool, and I just sand that area to smooth it out. Other than that, because this leg is kept in a sock all day and my artificial leg all day, it does not get dry. I usually don't have any issues with it. Something kind of cool that I don't know if you were aware of or not, but if you lose a toenail, the best thing that you can do ever is go to the nail salon, and they will put acrylic on your toe where your nail should be. That does allow the toenail to grow in straight again with no issues. I have lost a couple toenails from hiking over the years, and I will tell you that with one of the toenails, I did not go to the nail salon, but then when I lost my big toenail several years ago, I went to my nail salon and she put acrylic over the top. So then as the nail grows back in, it's almost like a guide. It shows it how to grow back in. You should never have any issues with it lifting or bending into weird shapes when it comes back in or anything like that. So that's an awesome tip because I did not know that. And it serves two purposes. A, when you lose a toenail, it's ugly. And so putting the acrylic on it makes it look like you have your full toenail and you can keep it painted. And honestly, because toenails grow so slow, I only had to get it changed out once a month and probably 3 or 4 times until it completely grew back. And I think they only charged me like $5 to do that. So it is definitely worth it, and it will help your toenails come back pretty again with no issues. All right, if you start out with no toenail polish on, I use you can use a nail file. You want to get all the color, all the paint off from before. Also, when you file the tops of your toenails, it does make a nice rough surface to adhere for your nail polish. And the biggest issue that people have, I think, is that their toenails are way too long. I like to keep my toenails short. Now, this particular toenail, this is one of the ones that ripped off, and I had stubbed it getting onto an airplane. And so I didn't know at the time that I could go to the nail salon and have them do that. So when it grew back, it did grow back kind of like where it wants to lift up a little bit from my nail bed. And I just use this, and I already did it before, but you can use a sander to sand it down and make it flat. So you should definitely, if you have thick toenails, you need to use this in order to make your toenails thinner, and it will help with making them also easier to cut, easier to take care of, and just prettier overall. I don't just use a file on my toenails. I use files around my toes because this poor foot takes a beating because it compensates for not having a second foot. I don't have 2 feet, so this one really takes all the pressure. That's why I do take care of it so well. Once you have them all filed down, I do use this on my toes to make everything super smooth. I love using this, and I just use it all. I have a little callus that gets kind of on my pinky right there from the pressure of my shoes. So I do like to sand that down. There we go. Also, under here, your big toe always is great to sand. And some people have calluses even like right in here, definitely sand those if you have that. I always do right here as well. Now for some of the maybe more dangerous tools, only for your heel. Only use those for these for your heel. And the key is lotion. Any kind of lotion that you prefer. There we go, maybe that. So my heel isn't even that bad right now, but I do notice it, like when I'm in bed at night, I can feel the roughness against my sheets. And I just, again, I do not like it. I am a little obsessive about the smoothness of my feet or my foot. So make sure it has a lot of lotion on it. Okay, I use this first to do just a small little bit around. You do have to angle the tool a certain way to be able to get it to work right. But as you can see, I am taking off dead skin. So just be careful. You don't want to go too high and you don't want to go too low underneath where you're walking. You just want to stay around the heel area itself, like just around this area. And I usually go over it a couple times. And because it isn't too bad right now, I'm not gonna do too much. But again, all the extra skin. Next, I use this, and this is awesome because you just move it back and forth, just like a cheese grater. Oh my gosh. It's so awesome. And you know, you can feel it. If it hurts, don't do it. Please never do it if it hurts, because you don't want to make yourself bleed. But I do this all around my heel. You can control the pressure, but this makes your heel so smooth. Takes off a lot of the dry skin. If you do have cracks in your heel, then be very, very careful, because these tools can tend to open the cracks up. So I would definitely be careful with that. I don't know if you can see all the stuff that came off my foot, even though it looked really good before. But this is how I know when I need to give myself a pedicure. And then on my heel, I use this at the end, because this then smooths out everything that you just did. I do put lotion on my foot. Again, but I wait until I'm done painting, because you don't want lotion to get on your toenails or the nail polish will not stay. Also, toenails, keep them clean, keep them short. And women, if you have hair that grows on your toes or on your foot, you can shave it, just like when you shave your legs. Also, there have been several people over my lifetime that have given me a hard time about the fact that I shave my legs every day. I used to work with a girl who only shaved her legs once a week, and I do not know how she did it. I couldn't even get in bed at night and feel like if my legs rubbed together and feel the stubble, like I just can't do it. So I even, you guys, every day, I even shave this leg. I shave it while I shave this one, I shave this one, even though nobody ever sees this leg except for my husband. And now you guys, I shave it every day because I cannot handle if it gets stubbly. No excuses, no excuses. Usually what I do to make sure I have no powdery residue on my toes after doing the pedicure is I just get a wet cotton ball and just wipe it down really good. And then just make sure everything feels smooth and how you want it before you paint your toes. Another tip of mine is I never buy regular nail polish remover anymore. You want to get something that is at least 99% acetone. This is 98% acetone. This one is okay. I do have one that is 99% acetone. A regular nail polish remover does not have as much acetone and it doesn't do as good of a job. If you overpaint on your toes, you get a Q-tip to touch it up to make it pretty, then nail polish a lot of times will smear. And I have just learned actually pretty recently that anything that has 98% or more on acetone is actually the best thing to use. And people use that like for gel polish and dips to take it off their nails. It's just a better product in general. I love pink on my toes. I usually do some shade of pink on my toes. Around Christmas, I'll do red. Sometimes I'll do a plum. But I do prefer pink is like, different shades of pink is one of my favorite things for nail polish, for me personally. On my artificial leg, if I do like any kind of like blues, dark blues or black, I feel like it makes my leg look dead. So I tend to stay away from that. I usually do 2 coats of a polish. I have a clear polish that I buy from my nail salon. The ladies sell it to me for $5 for this thing. And this is quick dry top coat that is amazing. It's super glossy and it dries super fast. So this is my most favorite. I don't know if they order this from a special place, but I have not been able to find it in normal stores. When she offered to sell it to me, I totally took her up on that. Also, I will tell you while my toes are drying, this tattoo I actually got. It's been 10 years. I probably need to go have it touched up. But my mom passed away 13 years ago, and on one of the anniversaries of her passing, I went with my aunt and we got tattoos in her honor. I picked a butterfly to represent transformation and to represent new life. My aunt got a tattoo right here as a hummingbird because she always saw my mom as a hummingbird. I love Coke, but my mom really loved Coca-Cola. So she always had a Coke with her everywhere. And so they always teased her that she was a hummingbird, just sipping her sugar all the time. So she got a hummingbird tattoo on her arm and I got the butterfly. When I showed my dad the tattoo for the first time, he actually started crying because he said that my mom had always wanted a butterfly tattoo. And I did not know that. And so it just even was more special to me then. But it is my little reminder of her. Every time I see it, I think of her. And it is the only tattoo I have. I have lost other women in my life since my mom passed away. I lost both of my grandmas, and one lived to be 96 and the other one lived to be 86. And I was very close to my grandmas and I miss them dearly. My 96-year-old grandma passed away 6 years ago, and My 86-year-old grandma, she just passed away 2 years ago, so pretty recent. And then I lost also my aunt, Charlene, who was amazing. And I was very, very close to her as well. She passed away 2.5 years ago. So in the last 2.5 years, I lost two people who were really close to me. And over the last 13 years, I've lost 4 of the women in my family. And so I have thought about going back to get tinier little butterflies to surround the bigger butterfly I have on my foot to represent each of them. But I have never gotten myself to go back. Tattoos on the foot were very, very painful. I'm gonna get to the second coat. Again, I don't have to be super careful if I get it all over because the acetone nail polish remover that I use is so great. I usually take the cap and I pour acetone into the cap. I get my Q-tips ready and then I just dip them. And then I go around and just do all my touch-ups. Okay, so, this is pretty messy right here. And then you just do one wipe and it's awesome. And there's no smearing on your toes. It doesn't discolor your toes. I love the stronger acetone base removers. Okay. And then I just go toe by toe, touching them up. Like that one is so bad. But then you just... All right, so after they're all touched up. Okay, so when I get them all cleaned up, and they're how I want them, I do use a little acetone. I can use it to clean my leg. I do get discoloring around like the top of my leg from jeans. It's kind of discolored like a dark blue. But the acetone works great to just kind of clean up spots on my foot shell. Again, this is just a shell. I do get these replaced every 6 months about. The acetone is the only thing that also gets off this nail polish good for me when I change this polish. And when I do, oops, I got a little bit of a smear. There we go. I hope you can see. This, the acetone just works great. It doesn't smear anything on my leg. As far as the color goes, where if I use regular nail polish remover on my leg, it smears the color everywhere and it's horrible. So the acetone based stuff is really good. I might touch up. I got a little bit of nail polish off of this. And actually, I'll just do a fresh coat over all my toes on this foot as well. This pinky toe on my leg is it's literally minuscule. Final coat. Again, this is my top coat that I use, super glossy and quick dry. I always do a pretty generous coat of this stuff. Might take a little longer to dry, but love it. And then when that's totally dry, I do use a cuticle oil. I can put my cuticles. It's hot in here, guys, sorry. I'm kind of dying. Another trick, if you do have really bad cracked feet and heels, I love to put Vaseline on my heel and my foot at night, and you can put socks on and sleep with socks on, or actually one of the best things to use is a vegetable bag from the grocery store. When you tear off those longer thin bags, if you wrap that over your foot, and I just use a scrunchie to hold it up. You don't need like a rubber band, or you can tie it onto the side, but a scrunchie works great. I would put Vaseline all over here, like all over my heel, wherever you have cracks or really dry skin. And then you get one of those grocery bags, and then I usually just pull it up to here and I put a scrunchie on it to hold it. And even if you can't sleep with it the whole night, because it is uncomfortable and it's weird having plastic on your foot, you could put a sock over it even. And even if you do it for 30 minutes or an hour, like put it on while you're watching TV at night or a movie, and just to get your feet some moisture, and the Vaseline will heal those cracks and all those dry spots really, really quickly. All right, I think we are good to go. So if you have 2 feet, take care of your feet. Make them as pretty as they can be. Take a little extra time out of your day to do that, because there are people like me out there who they may or may not harshly judge the condition of your feet. And let me tell you, I would give anything to have 2 feet. So please take care of them. Do me a favor. Thank you for coming along with me on today's foot care video. I hope that you guys take care of your feet, appreciate your feet. If you like my channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and I hope that you guys have a great week. I hope today is pedicure day for you as well. Thank you so much for watching Tina's Leg, where every day is leg day and pedicure day.